A Second Life. A young man approached this post, opened his mouth, as but to speak, and snorted. "Signor Pook, how is it that you like to be called Monsieur Pook? Well then, bonjour. There is a French salutation for your French slop. Men and dreams and things. Tell me, in direct and utter language, why do I not right now have a woman in my arms? When you say you don't have women, you are choosing it." "This is cruel," he whispered. "But it is the truth. You know you can go out right now and get a girl. The girl might be a fat hag, but nevertheless she is a girl. You choose not to go for the fat hag and decide that you are worth more. Loneliness isn't some cruel conspiracy from nature. It is your choice. You have chosen not to be with the ugly, fat women. Now that you have acknowledged that you choose the beautiful women, it means you think they are right for you. Even though you might be a skinny, socially insecure dork, you believe you have inside you what it takes to get the beautiful women. So you must go out and demo it to reality. Nature says, "You silly little dork. Who are you to think you can get my lovely nymphs, the beautiful women?" The proper response is, "I will show you who I really am." And one by one, you become yourself. You reconnect all your dreams to the day. You don't bulk up because women like big guys. You do it because that is how you see yourself. You don't become the life of the party because women like those guys. You do it because that is who you are. You do not become Don Juan because that is what women crave. You do it because it is who you are. What is life to you? It is the pattern of our age that value is placed on living a long life. Because of this pattern of value being placed on having a long life, it is easy to lose sight of the reason we hope to live long is so we have more time to live worthily. What does it mean to live worthily? It is something that only you can define. People have lots of opinions on what you should do with your life, but when the day comes you are on your deathbed, knowing the imminent is possible, you're the one who has to reflect upon the choices you made. So what is life to you? I'm not asking you to do this or that with your life, but I'm only asking you to pause for a moment and think. What is life to you? Stop and look. Many people do not stop to consider. They relive their parents' life only to produce children who will live like them. They want money, so they spend their time to get it, only to use that money to buy back time. They always place their minds in the future and never in the present. Thus, they don't live in the present or in the future. They lose the moments, and in the end, that is all we have. This trading of time for money, or money for time, or present for future, or future for present, is not a pure exchange. Life gets destroyed in the transaction. Change is hard. Being a nice guy is the easiest thing to do, but in the end, the nice guy is a trap. The trap of being the womb of security the nice guy keeps running into. Routine is easy. Change or anything new, this is hard. To take your lifelong habits and alter them, this takes some pain. It will be the pain of shrugging off the old life, the life your parents gave you, the life your school gave you, the life your friends shared with you, the life that everyone expects you to live, except yourself. You only have one life and only have a certain amount of time. You may have been raised to believe that life is not meant to be enjoyed, but something to bear, to be painfully suffered through. It is the belief that if you're having too much fun, then you're not doing enough stuff. Who says life is not meant to be enjoyed? And who is meant to define that but you? Only those who have this way of thought will think, approaching women? Oh no, too painful.
Having a girlfriend is like having another job. Women just require too much work to be enjoyed.
Who says that women are not meant to be enjoyed? Who says that life is not meant to be enjoyed? And who is meant to define that but you?
Life is whatever happens.
Who says that? Who says that you have to suffer? With all that is out there to achieve and enjoy, to discover and see, who is to say that it is not yours? Who is to say that you don't deserve joy in your life? Who is to say you don't deserve the hot babes? And why do you sit on the sidelines and surrender it to others? Who's to say all these things are not yours? You define your life, not your grandparents, church, or friends. When you give up those rules to someone else, you are to blame if you don't like where you're at. We are not raised this way. We are taught when we are young that it is noble to suffer. We are taught not to speak our mind, else we might offend someone. We are taught to be quiet and good when your parents dragged you to places you hated. We are taught to sit through the monstrosity called education, making us confused that education comes only with pain. Thus we naturally avoid pleasurable education the rest of our life. We are taught to always avoid risks when possible and embrace a nice, secure life. We are taught nothing that makes us alive. Some people think that we are meant to suffer each day, to gruel through time and bear the scourge of daily agonies. If you believe you are underemployed, ask yourself, is my life dedicated by my fear of not having a job, or is it launched by the pleasure of working a job I like and getting more money? If you do not have a woman, ask yourself, am I focusing on minimizing the pains of approaching, dating, and loving? Or am I focused on obtaining the pleasure of such wonder? Most people will never start a business because 9 out of 10 companies fail. But those that win in the end, even if they fail at first, keep trying because they are motivated by the pleasure of getting the business, not by minimizing pain and security. And many guys will never get a girl they want because they realize they will fail more often than they succeed. But those that win in the end do so by focusing on the pleasures of success rather than the pain of failure. So if you have no women, it means you think you are better than what you can get. You can either go out to show the world what you are, or you can come up with another daily excuse. In order for that happy tomorrow to occur, you need to start today. You set the rules for your life. It will have as much pain, joy, and success you think you deserve. The world now begins with you. What is your world going to be? Most people fake happiness. There is a great myth that everyone amazingly believes, that everyone else is happy, having fun, living life, and you all alone are miserable. That everyone is out there having amazing, glorious sex, while you must content yourself with porno. This isn't true. Most people are in the exact same spot as you are. And these glorious unions you see everywhere, most of them are simply scared of being alone, so they go off and grab the nearest available person. The others are lying together with vanity. The big secret is that happy people aren't as happy as they appear. Many happy people are actually covering up their real problems. But what do? You see one of these happy people and then you get unhappy at them. You make yourselves miserable as you arrow nasty thoughts from your mind at them, and they don't even know you. You think, it must be nice to be happy. They were born to the right parents, to the right environment. I wish I was like them. I wish I grew up where they did. You think, I have all these great qualities about myself. Why can't someone see it? Well, no one sees it because they are too worried about themselves. Women are not ignoring you. They are too worried about themselves. When you go out with a foxy lady, she will be worried about how she acts, about how you think of her. Life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be grabbed onto. Life is meant to be defined by you. No one may define your life. Not your parents, not people on the internet. No one. A second life. Now your life belongs to yourself. What are you going to do with it? This gift of life is yours and yours alone. It truly is the only thing no one can take away. Only you can give it away, to chunk it, to toss it into the abyss of time. But no longer will you do that. Before, you crawled and inched your way through life. Now, cocooned and reabsorbed with your new thoughts, you molt off your old life and begin a new one. The other caterpillars, feeding on their grubs and inching in circles, look up at the sky to see you blaze by. How can he fly so high?
How is he so colorful?
How can he be so free?
Nothing can stop you now except yourself. You now have the power to do what you've always dreamed. What are you going to do? The inner light of who you really are has broken out and will dazzle the world. You are so lucky, for you have saved your life. Now you know how precious life is because you were so close to aging without discovering it. And so people will notice the new you. Before I came here, I was mad for a girl. Now that same girl looks at me and stares. Something is different, she says. Something in your face, in your eyes. Shrugging, she smiled. It must be the light. I kissed her and pulled her to me. Yes, I said, it must be the light. Regarding selfishness, life-changing decisions, etc. Quote, what am I getting at? Thanks to this site, I've developed a great sense of self and a much higher level of confidence. Not perfect by any means, but a hell of a lot improved. I've committed myself for the last couple years to doing whatever it takes to get what I want. Money, girls, power, and such. All of a sudden, this does not seem so appealing to me. I feel willing to give up all the hard work to follow a completely different path. All of a sudden, the thought of screwing people over or succeeding at all costs makes me really uneasy. Power games with girls and coworkers are something I used to be able to play well, but now I don't want nothing to do with them. I feel like everything I wanted in life is being turned on its head. Maybe I'm just ranting here, but the world really has been showing its dark side lately, and I don't want to be a part of all the bullshit. Is there anyone out there who honestly gives a fuck? Where to go from here? All the Don Juan techniques I've read over and over seem so insignificant. God, I had everything planned out. I feel like I'm back at square one and then some. I've got no idea what I want out of life again. Anyone have any input? Or have I gone completely wacko-jacko? These are the times that try men's souls. Our ancestors and forefathers always had clear and solid definitions of masculinity and manhood. While the definitions varied in detail, the context was the same. Today, there is no system, no genuine respect for manhood. If a woman committed suicide, it would be a tragedy. But if a young man commits suicide, ho-hum, just another statistic. You're not crazy, you've just grown up. Most people never do. Children are remarkably selfish. This is fine, as they are children. Growth is seen as the child growing and expanding on his or her abilities or schoolwork. However, around the age of 16, especially for girls, they become enchanted with a self-image of themselves. This self-image varies from individual to individual, but the results are the same. To create envy from others, excess pride, material goods, and sexual goods. Nature herself has written a code into our hearts and natures. We each have our talents and gifts, and who can decide what they dream? This grand self-image, in order to exist, must use techniques and people as fodder, as stepping stones to success. What is obscene is that the basis of fulfillment of this self-image is the denial of the self. Narcissism is the denial of the self. It is to reject the gift of life. A musician trying to play the role of the soldier for women, for money, would have his soul destroyed. Likewise, a soldier trying to play the role of musician for women, for money, also would find his soul destroyed. We have been taught, at the earliest ages of youth, that in order to get things done and to make people happy, we must, on all levels, deny ourselves. In fact, I suspect that is why many men come to this forum in the first place. We have denied ourselves women for so long. But enough is enough. What is a technique with woman but the fundamental denial of self? We are taught to act this way, do that, then this, and that over there, and perhaps we get the girl. But what was the cost? There is always a cost. By using some techniques on the internet, you never know if you can get women. Yes, techniques sell well because they are painless. If anyone tells you something in life will be painless, they are somehow a salesman. Nevertheless, techniques are not an addition to your character, but often a denial of it. No, being a nice guy does mean crash and burn. Rather than facing up to the hard questions of life and our own masculinity, it is much simpler and easier to adopt a series of techniques. Narcissism's denial of the self permeates through today's society, as you have noticed. How often have you gone on a date with a woman and had her say everything you think she wants you to hear? Or how often do you find the guys that act the way they think the women want to hear? The technique-wielding seducer and the nice guy differ on how they act, but the context of their actions are entirely narcissistic. Even the good girls and bad girls suffer from this extreme self-image. Reality to them is unseen. This is why they never seem to change once their bodies reach that of an adult. Many people remain narcissistic for their entire lives. I say, go, do what you want. Go, follow your dreams. Go embrace your passions. Go for the girl you think is out of your league and super hot. Go for the fruits of life. Do not deprive yourself. When you do so, you slowly become embittered and turn that embitterness into a virtue. Look at how nice I am to women. Look how I sacrifice for my education and job and family, etc. The list goes on and on. Our age today is mercenary labor and mercantile women. Everyone wants to leverage you for their own ends, but only you know what your dreams and passions are. Your dreams are now ripe for enjoyment. If you wait too long to enjoy it, it will be as bitter to the taste as defeat. Too many people deny themselves for tomorrow, always tomorrow. We say, "Look at that dream up there. One day it will come down." Rather, we ought to say, "Our hour has struck." Francisco mentioned Atlas Shrugged. I would say The Fountainhead is a superior book. For those who still think narcissism is about being selfish, look at the character of Keating. Keating and Rourke play opposite roles. Keating does whatever to please others. He even denies his heart to marry a beautiful woman. Rourke does only what pleases himself and pursues his own passions. In the end, Keating becomes broken while Rourke wins the world. The point is that both characters face severe pain, for pain will occur to you in life. If anyone tells you differently, they are a salesman. Rourke, taking the mindset of freedom, dealt with the pain at the front. Keating, adopting the mindset of security, avoids pain at every turn and it ends up consuming him. We can either avoid the pain and the shocks that flesh is heir to, or we can tackle it head on and be man, not for women, not for society, not for your parents, not for your church, but for ourselves, as being a man is the closest males can get to heaven on earth. Securities versus mistakes. There I am, minding my own business on my computer when a message pops up to scream,
Woot! I get the Pook. Tell me, Pook, what can I do to get the women?
And then appears one of the following lines.
How do I approach?
What do I say?
How do you call her? How do I get laid easier? Where do I meet the girls? How do I increase my testosterone? Tell me how to be a man. What cologne should I put on? What are clothes that women like? Should I walk with swagger or not?
Facial hair or not?
Should I use more action verbs in my speech? What sexual positions should I use? What date should I do?
Should I be ambitious, autistic, or just domineering?
Gentlemen, if I attempt to answer your every request, I shall be here until doomsday. You come onto the forum and think,
if I obtain this information, my future with women shall be changed.
This is a bald-faced lie. Your future is the same. It is only your past that keeps changing. Nice guy, seducer, cocky guy. What does it matter? You're looking for guarantees. Then you change your past.
I lost to the women because I was sheepish and not cocky enough.
Maybe you have different results, but then it goes back to the way it was, and you search for more information. And then you change your past again.
Oh, I lost to the women because I lacked testosterone within me.
Maybe you have different results, but then it goes back to the way it was, and you search for something else. On and on it goes. So excuse me for not giving you a traditional answer. Let me answer you in another way. It is to know the difference between a security and a mistake. Securities. What is a security? It is a calculus of action. It is a planned way of thought, of movement, of talk, and of love. For example, anchoring conversation with "notice something about her" is a security. It implies that if you talk about a necklace or something she is wearing, your odds for winning are better. Here's another security. A cool, fast car. Since it is observed that women like cool, fast cars, guys will get them because they believe it boosts their chances of getting the girl. All seduction techniques are securities. All neuro-linguistic programming is a security. The entire idea is to boost your chances of getting the girl. Self-improvement is readily a good thing, but a very big problem, or should I say cancer, occurs when self-improvement becomes a security. The idea that improving yourself in this way or that way will boost your chances. But the problem is that it never stops. Go into a gym and you will find many single guys working out. They will remain there because they always think they have to be perfect to get the ladies. Watch television and you will see ads implying that if you wear this shampoo, you will have this social life, eat this brand of rice, and your romantic life will look like this, and on and on and on. Use this product and you will be perfect, it implies. Well, perfect is boring. Take a young man asking some guy on the internet where he should go for the date. What should he eat? What should he wear? Which restaurant should he go to? What should he talk about? And yes, he even asks, what sexual positions should I use? Should I kiss her here or there? He thinks,
I am obtaining all this information. Woot! Look at me.
But I'm shaking my head thinking, my goodness, this guy is letting a stranger from the internet define his love life. He doesn't know where he wants to go, what he wants to eat, what to talk about, or what to wear. Women will look at such a guy with the same attitude. A security is an act or thought that makes you eliminate mistakes. It is one thing to foresee mistakes. After all, you can't just marry any girl. But it is disaster to life to deny them. You want misery in your life? Keep sucking up securities to mold and sculpt your life. Mistakes. I cannot speak for others, but I will tell you the big reason why I became successful with women. I was willing to lose girls when I had no girls, and I was willing to spend the time when I had no time. What does this mean, willing to lose girls when I had no girls? Let me use a money analogy. Let us say you were born poor. Most people remain poor because they cling so tightly to the pennies they have that they won't risk losing it in any investment. So they not only lose out with the big money, they remain with their pennies their entire life. Now look at many men. Many guys remain single or in a long-term relationship because they cling so tightly to the one girl in their worlds that they won't risk or go back to singledom. Most girls stay with a mediocre male precisely because of this reason. It is like an ant saying to another,
Don't eat that leaf or we'll starve.
Forgetting that they are in a bountiful forest. When one love dies, another is reborn. Nature will not tolerate a vacuum. Single guys will have women thrown at them, provided they aren't living life insecurities. If you tiptoe with women, you cannot stand. You flop and fall over if you get out of balance. And that is what it's like living a life of securities. I know, I did it far too long. It is like walking a tight beam and balancing against every gust and breeze. It's exhausting. This is why many following this path want to give up on women because it seems like so much work. If you don't have money, how can you be scared of losing money? If you don't have women, how can you be scared of losing them? It is like you're fighting for the scraps, literally scraps of joy, while your dreams sit on the table, rotting and growing cold with time. And what does it mean to spend time when I had no time? Most people don't live in the present. They live in the future. They say, tomorrow, oh, my dreams will occur tomorrow. Never does the person say, today. So time passes and passes. I will bet that most guys here who are sincerely interested in getting better with women were late bloomers in life. Let's face it, if you have not dated or did anything with girls, you are certainly going to be a bit uncertain about it.
My problem is that I need more experience.
I don't think so. I think the big problem, of which I too am very much guilty of, is not embracing my dreams for today and waiting for tomorrow. I would see a pretty girl and go, no, can't ask her out. Got too much stuff to do this week. This occurred throughout years, but as time passed, melancholy increased and increased until you hated being single. It was as if an internal pressure came. You go after women because the pain of being single is now greater than ceding your desires for tomorrow. Is that what it has come to? The choice between the lesser of two pains? Is this life? You didn't live like that when you were a child. You used to explore, play, try out new things. Why has life become harder and more unbearable? Again, it comes to your context on securities versus mistakes. I ask, What mistake does a child make? I'm sure you can think of something like forgetting to turn off the light, leaving the oven on, or something of the sort. This is from the adult's point of view. From the child's point of view, he wasn't making any mistakes. Cut his finger? Hurt his leg? Tired out? No mistakes here. Why, he was exploring. Every child loves to explore. There is so much in life to see. A child instinctively knows this. But we somehow overpower this when we grow older. When you say something wrong with a woman and she leaves, you think you made a mistake and feel bad. Well, why do you have to feel bad? Everyone's made mistakes before, so what? Get that child's perspective once again of feeling that the world was new when you were young. You are exploring with love and life, not making mistakes. And even the worst mistake is preferable to a lifetime embracing the greatest of securities. The zest of life is in the roll of the dice. So when you look at your love life, is it a life of securities or is it a life of mistakes? Is it a calculus of action or spontaneous? Look at your financial life, social life, and even intellectual life. Are they leashed to securities, or are they free, wild, and allowed to explore? But Pook, my perspective uses the word strategies. Your perspective uses the word securities. We are saying the same thing but using different contexts. But we are both using the word mistake in my perspective. Tell me, goodly Pook, what word do you use in your perspective for my label of mistake? Freedom. So Suave is AFC. This is excellent. Commenter XBliss44X, I want to use your post to illustrate a point. Disclaimer. One can learn a lot with speed seduction. You can learn how to be more at ease with talking to them, since women are more comfortable with talking about feelings than anything intellectual. And good to give a starting point of how-tos when you deal with women. That said, my issue with So Suave has always been the spirit of So Suave, that it destroys the man within to turn you into a metamorph to fit the woman's lust. Yet So Suave has the vanity to think that it is altering the woman.
So every time she moves, you move. Try to mirror her breath frequency and depth.
Your body behavior has become reactive.
In a conversation, try to use these words as much as you can so that her subconscious will pick up on it and realize they must be important to you too. But repeating these words back to her, she will think that you sincerely understand her and can relate to what she is talking about.
Your vocabulary has become reactive.
The most important part of seduction, in my opinion, is demonstrating your value. If you approach a woman and she blows you off, or if she never returns your calls, or if she turns you down for a date, you have not shown her the value that you can provide to her.
This is true in that you are the prize to be won and that she is after to catch you. But notice that with this, you now cease to be man and become reactive of values based on woman's response. Gone is integrity. You want to create the values that works towards her lust. Thus, the manner of these values are all going to react to her lust.
When you are eliciting values, you are finding out what is important to her, what she values, transforming into a man that can give her that, and finally providing her with it.
You are no longer a man. Now you are a shifter. You are bending yourself toward what she wants. This is the average frustrated chump that ceases to be frustrated. Notice that he is still a chump. Now, if you were merely to pick out common things she said and leap on those to build a common ground, that would be one thing, which is called good conversational skills. But the entire spirit of this So Suave is based entirely in her eyes, how she must see you, how she must perceive you.
From this conversation, I've discovered that she likes to feel a little in danger. She loves the excitement of living on the edge. From this, you should transform yourself into a man that can provide her with these feelings that she values.
Not only are you to transform yourself, you are to provide her those feelings she lusts for. This is the social dildo, whose social behavior is geared only toward tapping female lust, which itself is fine, but triggering her lust trumps your own values. You are to be transformed.
Most women believe they are living their own fairy tale and are searching for their male star. In order to become that male star, you must bring it to her attention that you two have a lot of things in common, and it is amazing to connect with someone on such a level.
To become that male star, now you live for her fantasy?
After you've done this a few times, say something along the lines of, "Can you remember what it felt like when you were in front of somebody that you maybe just recently met, but it feels like you could have known this person forever?" You feel yourself start to relax and open up to him because it seems so natural. It is as if we connect on some deeper level. With me, I don't think it can be forced, but when it does happen, it feels amazing.
First, your body behavior became reactive, then your vocabulary, then your values and character. Now your speech is to sound like a banquet of fluffy words all arranged to reflect her own lust back to her.
If you want her to feel horny, you could say something like this. "Oh, my brother just called me. He just lost his virginity this weekend and he was asking me for tips. Remember back when you were younger and you had this one lover that could always do things to your body that would send tingles dancing down your spine and could cause butterflies to tickle your belly? This person would penetrate you with his thoughts, and just his presence alone caused tingles to run down your arms to the ends of your fingertips. If all goes well, she'll feel the tingles as I describe them. She has to feel them now to compare them to see if she's ever felt them in the past."
Now you are talking like a girl. Anyone who is around women consistently know that all they talk about is sex. Sex. Everything surrounding sex. Getting phone numbers is emphasized way too much on this board. As great as it feels to get phone numbers, rarely does it ever pan out into a fuck. Because this board is not a satellite of speed seduction, there are countless boards and discussion areas for that. Women love to fuck. This is 100% true. Women love to fuck as much as men do. I would say women love to fuck more than men. In fact, women's entire consciousness revolves around the axis of sexuality. However, to prevent themselves from feeling like a slut, you must create a real or superficial relationship with her inside of her mind before she'll fuck you. Have I not said that women are entirely sexual by default, and their concern is not that they are sexual, but on how everyone else perceives it? Did I not say that speed seduction absolutely does nothing to truly seduce her, but only bring down the social and reputation dam that keeps women's sexuality from flooding everything and anyone? Here is the confirmation. Women will have sex left and right, but that fear of slut behavior stops them and frustrates them. In other words, women hate virtue and will despise purity. Thus, there are no true innocent girls. She'll fuck you if you show her it's okay to do so. Well, she will do you, or anyone with a value, as long as you show her it's okay. What is romance to a woman but license to act all the things she wants? So here lies a mystery. So Suave pats its own shoulder by saying, "With this knowledge you will influence and alter women's behavior." Yet it is admitted that women will have sex very freely as long as that frame of mind, slut fear, is in place, and so you must tear that down, which only we can, because men create the boundaries of society. So why does So Suave believe that it is altering women when it is merely showing them that it is all okay? My answer? Vanity. Men want to believe they are sex gods that flip women to them like cards. But as we see, it is women who are ultimately in control with So Suave. The So Suaver takes the reactive position. Now, what has the man become after all this? He is reacting to her body behavior, to her speech, to her vocabulary, to her values, to her dreams, and so on. Has he not merely become a boy toy? I mean, what more can he be? Now, if I made any mistakes in the above, do tell me. Error or vanity has never been my objective. Just as hard as it was to face the truth of our past AFC nice guyness, so shall seeing the underpinning of So Suave take similar courage. Now, I have one more question. If So Suave is truly reacting and transforming oneself to the woman in her dreams, is the So Suaver truly making love to her, or is she merely masturbating herself using him as the physical object? After all, he uses her vocabulary, has her values, acts like she does, and talks like a woman. Is this the essence of speed seduction? Talking to girls. Don't compliment unless it's something you are genuinely impressed by. Authenticity is the key. Everyone likes to feel unique and special in their own way. Show interest in her and her life. Believe me, she will make your ears bleed. This will come off naturally since you are already interested in her, therefore interested in what she does, etc. While you are finding out everything about her, you have remained a mystery since you're not trying to sell yourself. The chick will love someone asking about herself, thus validating in her eyes that she's special, and her interest in you will grow because she wants to know more about you. Not bad for letting your ears bleed, eh? Also, the more information you get, the better and more precise you can take the next step with a higher probability of success. Don't be sweet. Listen to her and add in your thoughts. Don't try to fix her problem. Understand them. When a trait or feeling comes up that you agree with, don't hesitate to tell her. She will feel a connection with you and her interest level will rise. If she ever makes you mad, tell her exactly why you're mad. Amazingly, girls love it when guys will shit at them because girls want honesty and directness. Many girls will put up a test of standing you up just to see if you will swallow it like a nice guy or if you will have the strength to put them in their place. Women are not attracted to guys they can control. Humor is always good. Always be light-spirited, warm, and humorous. But when she is talking to you seriously, always listen and understand how she feels. The difference between dating and friendship. Long, long ago, before I found this website and all, I did have female friends. Currently, I have no female friends, as female friends seem to be an impossibility for me now. Every girl I try to be friends with wants to date me, screw me. But what about girls who already have a guy, including wives and girlfriends? Same story.
Do not brag, Mr. Pook. You have the opposite of the AFC problem.
No, it is something else entirely. Men and women view love and relationships very differently. Husbands, steady boyfriends, and chivalrous males hate me because I am free. I don't have to go to the girlfriend's house to keep her company because she feels alone. Engage whatever rituals she comes up with. I can leave my place when I desire, return when I desire, meet anyone I wish, do anything I please. Many of these males, I suspect, married very young and never fulfilled their adventure of life. Since I have so much more available time, since I'm not spending it all on a fiancé or wife's incessant desires, I'm investing it in myself. I'm not better than these guys, but I end up wittier, fitter, more worldly because of this additional time. Since I'm more of a developed male, so to say, perhaps they have more interests. One thing is for sure, women do not see dating as friendship with sex. Behind that pleasant baby-like face march the thoughts she has had her entire life. Your role as a man is to work for her your entire life. Ask older men, married and divorced, for verification if you're skeptical. This is why women will see your material goods and ambitions, never your intellect, your interest in discovery, the universe. I would say the biggest difference between friendship and dating is addiction.
Did he say addiction?
Yes, he did. Friendship carries on due to similar interests, having fun and so on. Dating and marriage occurs and ensues due to addiction. Some guys suspect that it is sex the guys are addicted to. This misses the mark. We have been so conditioned to find females in our presence normal that when they are not there, it becomes abnormal. As has been observed, older married couples don't have sex. So how does the couple keep working? Addiction. This addiction is the addiction of female praise. Even old men will do what they can to please their wives, even when it brings great discomfort to themselves. Some men have become so conditioned that even if the wife does not praise, he takes that as displeasure and immediately starts doing things to obtain back the praise. Males have become more religious than ever before. The religion, romance. The deity, their self-picked goddess, a young woman.
I will do anything for women,
the men say. They will easily buy houses that will take them 30 years to pay off just for them. He won't admit how stupid his woman actually is, so that stupidity turns into divinity. He believes his woman is capable of great emotions and abilities because he projects his own emotions and sense of self onto this woman. Woman is shrouded in more mysticism and pomp than any king or pope.
What? Blasphemy! Blasphemy! Burn the Pook! Burn the Pook!
Just answer this question. Who is the deity of the Don Juan Bible?
Why the Don Juan?
Are you sure? Think long and hard.